Last week, test of not chasing setups. This week, a test of not forcing setup. Yeah, correct. Yeah. No trades for Guraf. Albert, market slow but still good. Yeah, took some losses, did some range trade, and then three losses for Zhengyang, kind of forced trade. Mm. If you because if you just look at the 4 hour, let's have a look at the 2 hour on euro dollar. Just look at the price action. So since last Friday, all the way for this entire week, we are still within this. We can technically just say within this 84 pips range, or even tighter. Yeah, since Wednesday until Friday, this was the entire range right here. The same thing goes to majority of the dollar pair. See dollar yen last Friday up until this Friday. See that for the entire week. Aussie dollar as well. You see. So when you see this kind of price action, to me again, what for you want to waste your time trying to trade it? The entire market was slow. It wasn't just the dollar market. It was the entire. It was the entire market. So apart from some of your any positions you took this week, I can see this week everyone's a lot slower. Was a really good time to scalp. It depends, Albert. It really depends on your trading style. Yeah, even if you were to scalp, it wasn't easy as well. Unless you're trading the indices or something else or the futures market maybe. But for the FX, it was too slow. So Victor said one Kiwi dollar and one gold. Yeah, two losses, right? So Nash, four trades, three wins roughly 1 to 10. Which pair and one B. Very good. Nash, gold. Yeah, yeah. If you just focus on gold, you probably can catch something. Since gold was technically the one moving. Yeah. Besides that, nothing's really moving. Mm. No, it's the slow market because of the holiday in US. Not sure because holiday is on Friday. But what I can say is slow market is just slow market. There's no actual most of the time there's no actual reason. Yeah, market decides whether if you wanna have some contraction or expansion, right? You can't really predict. There are times where everything fast, but the market is just slow. Yeah. So Horace was holding dollar cat short since 139.46. Right here, right? I remember it was here. Because of these equal high rejection, he took a short, but now start to worry about the DXY gap up down after Trump says firing Powell on Friday. It's quite funny. Ever since Trump was elected, the entire market go into I don't know a really panic mode. I'm not sure how to say. It is like you're even for myself, I'm not sure what Trump is really thinking sometimes. Like over the weekend, he can just make some weird decision, like snap of the fingers. Like yeah, he does think like for Horace, Trump can literally just post a tweet and say, "I'm applying tariff," and then it just happen. Yeah, it's time to buy Trump coin. Then it just happened. It's not like any other, you know, precedent where everything has to go through as a particular SOP. But for Trump, it's more like I want to do this, I do it. Just one phone call. Okay. Okay, so let's go into the market. Let's go into the market. Trump is weird. I don't know, but I think he'll be a good grandparent. I'm not sure why. A really funny one. So Monday, same thing. Um, so most of US senators, no experience, done better than Warren Buffett. The best of the best by miles, yeah. So Monday, same thing. Tomorrow, bank holiday again. Tuesday, no news. Wednesday, all PMI. We don't really care about PMI. Thursday, nothing. Friday, some bank holiday on the Aussie. and the euro. So this week again, I assume it'll be another very slow week. So again, slow week, trade less. For example, a very good example here will be Horizon as well. You see, he only took one position, which is dollar cap, and he just hold it because the market was so slow. There's no point for you to get in and out, in and out. So he identified a dollar cap maybe is a good one. He just took it. He just hold it. That's it. And again, I received a lot of texts from many of you, tens of you, telling me, in the entire April, I can't trade much. There's not much opportunity. Is there something wrong with my filtering process? Is there anything wrong with my analysis? And I still tell all of you, including myself, I'm trading very little for the entire April as well, because everything is just a lot slower. So let's see. So let's talk about the DXY first. So DXY is still extremely bearish. As we discussed long time ago, DXY have respected this 107, pushed lower, broke this 103.27, and we even broke this 100.30. If you look at the weekly on the DXY, we can say that it's officially turning into a mid to long term downtrend. So since the break below 100.40, I'm expecting DXY to drop a lot more aggressive with, on the fundamental side, with everything's going on right now, I believe they're only going to do harm to the DXY. So I believe DXY is going to drop a lot further in the upcoming few months. So this is more of a long-term view. Short-term, mid-term, long-term, I'm bearish on DXY, and I believe this will drop into the 90 zone. So let's come back in 2 to 3 months and see if it does actually happen. And I'm expecting every single currency against the dollar will gain strength. Because why? Because of everything's going on right now, not just on the technical. On technical, it aligns as well because DXY just broke below 100.2. JPYX, if you look at the weekly, again, I believe we have some potential to break above 782, whether by this week or the following week. Why? JPYX has been on a major downtrend for a very long time. And in fact, since just let's scroll all the way back. So on the chart here, I can only scroll back to 2020. Can you look at the price action? We've been forming on a weekly chart, we've been forming lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, basically just lower high all the way through. But this is for the past 2 to 3 months, or let's say for the past half year, it's actually the first time we see JPYX forming higher low, and at the same time, we are actually defending some of the support level. And I'm very confident that these are signs of JPYX potentially having a major shift, at least for a few months spectrum. For a few months, I believe we're going to see JPYX pushing into 857 zone, some of these major swing high. Why? Because price action won't lie. We've been seeing higher lows here at 727. We're seeing higher low at 746. If we go down onto the daily, you can even see JPYX doing a BNR, a pullback, sort of long entry at 764. So these are things that we have not seen for a very long time. I'm talking about at least 3 to 5 years period. So as price is again forming a potential bull flag here, it's not the prettiest, but you can actually see we are trying to accumulate. We are trying to break that 783. So I'm expecting JPYX to break above that 782 within 2 weeks period. Why? Because I believe we are coming to the end of the consolidation. We've been consolidating between this 783 to 764 for how long is it? For nearly 2 weeks period. For about 2 weeks, we shall see a break above the resistance, or maybe if I'm wrong, below the support within 1 to 2 weeks. So if JPYX goes up, if I'm bullish on JPYX, same thing here, I'll be looking for short opportunity on the yen pass. And let's talk about some of the actual setup. Aussie yen, I've been waiting for price to pull back into 92.30 or 92.25. just around this zone here, I'm expecting some mid to long term sell off. So let's go on to the weekly chart again. So if you look at the weekly, Aussie yen has obviously reversed from here long time ago since July. Ever since then, we are just going into a bear market. If you look at the weekly, we've been printing lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, and the most significant one was this BNR here during March. So we have a BNR here, and we have a complete flush to the downside. So on the flip side, you might also question, hey, but we are still sitting on this support. How are you so sure that this is going to be a downtrend? Because of confluence with the JPYX. I believe all the yen pairs are about to sell off really aggressively within 1 to 2 weeks. So I'm really trying to see which yen pairs are closer to my entry. If you look at Aussie yen, if I were to expect, if you look at the 2 days chart, if I were to expect a BNR here and a continuation to the downside, price position is perfect, RR is perfect, everything's good, everything's A plus, stories align as well. If you look at pound yen, similar, but I still much prefer the price action on Aussie yen, just because everything's a lot clearer. Yeah, we have that low high, low high, low high, low high, low high. Even if price pull back into 92.4, this is still considered a low high because it's still overall bearish. But pound yen, we've been chopping inside of this range between 198.7 to 184.13 for a very long time. I'm still bearish on pound yen as well, just to make it clear. Let me remove all of this. I'm still very bearish on pound yen, but in terms of market structure, it seems that Aussie yen is slightly clearer. Same thing goes to euro yen. Same thing. If you want to short euro yen, you can short it, but this is more of a range setup. Market has been ranging between 164 to 156 for a very, very long time, for about more than half year. I think it's about 10 months period since July 2024. So we're still ranging. If you want to short the range, it is okay. But personally, again, if I were to short, I would still prefer either Aussie yen or perhaps pound yen if you think this is a good setup. So winter EJ in weekly looks like a TPF. You mean here, right? This one, right? Yeah, you can call it a TPF as well. But if I were to see this, I would just say this entire thing is a rectangle, is a range. Anyway, this is also a valid TPF on the high time frame. Yeah, it is indeed correct. So yeah, if you want to short your yen, it is possible. But personally, I believe Aussie yen or pound yen, they'll be at least a little bit better in terms of price action. So besides that, I'm not seeing much on dollar Swiss, pound Aussie, euro Aussie. I'm not really seeing anything. Dollar CAD, Horace is currently shorting dollar CAD. I do agree. Hey, wait, is it dollar CAD? Let me go back. Yeah, dollar CAD. Yeah, dollar CAD is bearish as well. Why? Because price is also, it seems like we are breaking below this resistance here. So if you're bearish on dollar CAD, it does make a lot of sense as well. We talk about this for some time. The reversal here at 145.20, the break below 141.62. I still much prefer, a deeper retracement into 141.51, but it's quite a steep pullback. So when it's such a steep pullback, you don't know whether it will happen or not. What I can say is dollar CAD, this is also a good short setup, but personally, I would still prefer to wait for a larger sell-off before I take any action. Dollar yen, same thing as well. I'm looking to short this, but I'm waiting for a pullback into 146.78. It may happen, it may not happen anyway. I have Aussie yen on my watch list as well. So if dollar yen decides to just run lower, it's fine. I will then wait for another opportunity to short it below 140.60. I don't really mind. What I do is I don't want to get involved somewhere between here and here. I want to get in at the best possible price position. I don't want to get in between of this range between 146 to 140.50. So 140.50. Euro dollar, same thing. Still looking for BNR. Currently, there's no setup. If price pulls back into 112, this is still an A plus setup. Aussie dollar, nothing much as well. As usual, we talk about this multiple times on our setups breakdown. It's either a pullback into 1.6180 or a break above 0.6375. Like I said in the early of the meeting, I'm still expecting slow market this week, especially for the dollar pair. So let's see how it goes. And again, for the yens, I'm expecting JPYX to have a heavy rally in the upcoming few months period. So this is again based on my anticipation. I could be wrong, but based on price action, what I can see now is price printing multiple higher lows, and we are attempting to break this 781. So let's see. If JPYX breaks that 781, we'll definitely see the cross yens flushing all the way down. So what do you think about gold? Nothing. Nothing. Still very strong. If you were to ask me, break down this gold price section, I would just tell you this is strong. There's nothing much. Yeah. Go, even if I go down onto the lower time frame, let me just show all of you. Like what can you really see here? Right? Unless you're buying every single unless you're buying every single minor pullback. Otherwise, there's not much you can read. Printing lower lows. What do you mean by printing? You mean here? You mean here? You mean this one, this one? But you can also say that we are printing higher low again, right? At 33.11, we are also printing higher low again. Yeah. So nothing much I can see here. If I can't see anything, I always prefer to say I can't see anything. Some of you, based on our learning, based on our education here, if you can see something, that's good for you. Yeah, because the whole thing here is still, if I can't see anything, doesn't mean you cannot see anything. You can see something and you can still trade because many of us here have been killing on gold. I know so many of you doing so well taking gold. One of the very best example is Kang. If all of you remember Kang, one of our Chinese member, he literally took gold long from here. That crazy guy he went long at 29.73 and he held it all the way into 3300 zone. Crazy long, yeah. And the amount of patience was pretty insane. Um, and the fact that if you look at the price action here on the 2 hour, he even held through all of these minor levels. It's almost like he knew that gold was going to push through all-time high again. So so I texted him personally. I say, hey, Kang, very well done. One of the craziest patience, craziest trade I've ever seen. Yeah, it seems easy. I know a lot. The other day I made a YouTube video, and I complimented Kang on this long. I received one DM on my Instagram say that, Neo, you think your member is really good? I've been holding long since 2019. Like, let's see where's 2019. And he was just be frank, he was mocking my video and say, you think your member is really good? I've been holding gold since 2019. I was sorry because I'm always being quite protective of all of you here. So I then responded him. I say, so how much did you make? He then blocked me. So anyway, hey, some people they just can't see other people do well. Like I was complimenting Kang on my YouTube video, and he was so triggered. He say, "You think he's good? I'm holding since 2019. Okay, so how much did you make?" He blocked me. So I think he was probably taking, I don't know, 0.01, 0.02 micro lots. Yeah. Let me see. Hi Neil, mind taking a look at Euro Kiwi at 190.55? Yeah, everyone can say I was holding since 1999. I was born in 1999. Yeah, I was holding since 1999 as well. Everyone can say the same thing. Yeah. Only until you open your broker showing it's a real account, then I know it's true. Even I open my broker on YouTube, someone still say I was faking my P&L. This social media thing. My goodness. Let's have a look at Euro Kiwi. Here's the Kiwi guy again. He's holding gold bar. Hey, but no joke, one of our member here in our trade club, he own a gold, he own a gold shop. And I tell you, his net worth, less I can't really disclose it here, but his net worth when probably doubled within the past 1 year. He owned a gold shop. It was a generational business. Yeah, that's how like Euro Kiwi. Euro Kiwi 190.55. Yep, you mean you want to trade a BNR, is it? The only thing I can see here is you are looking to long a BNR. Is it? Sheng Rong, right? Anticipating a TPF. Yeah, possible, possible, possible. But there's one thing I would consider is if the market is doing such a large impulse, but we have a complete digestion, almost, it's not a complete, but it's almost a full digestion of this impulse, it is often a bearish signal. Again, just based on my personal experience and my personal journal, my back test, okay? So every time when you see a large impulse followed by almost a V shape, it is always not the best time to go long. Yeah. Usually. Usually, if market were to go back up, we'll see one more wave down before the next wave up. Almost always like that. You can run your back test or you can go back to all of your journal and review your trades. Almost every single time when you see a V shape, we will always do one more leg before the actual wave up. Could you go BTC and see 8 hour time frame forming flag? BTC. You mean this one? You mean this is a bull flag? Is it? Yeah, possible, possible. If you are really based on the very high time frame, you might even ask, is this entire thing just a pullback? Because we are okay. The main reason why BTC has been stopping here because we're sitting right at the SSE zone. Some of you may notice, may not notice. So would I go long here? I would say I won't until I see price reclaim above that 92.6. What I can say is BTC seems like is being uncertain right now. It seems like it's a little indecisive. I can't really I can't really tell you whether if it's bullish or bearish from a short-term perspective. What I can say is we're still printing low high. We're still printing low highs, and I see this as a sign of another low high, another possible low high. So if it's still bearish from a short to mid term, I would still say this is on a downtrend. It is better to look for short. Yeah. Long term, Bonbon asked me, what do you think about BTC direction in the long term? Long term, in before Trump, I will say I'm bullish. Right now, after Trump is elected, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he would just wake up and just send in a tweet and say I'm banning all the crypto. Or I'm allowing all the crypto. I really don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, because BTC or crypto in general, uh it is something that will be impacted heavily based on the government decision. So if Trump says something odd, it can just dump like nothing else. So price action wise, still bearish in the short term. Is the initial entry on GU 128.80 still valid, or is it another re-entry? You mean 128.80, but 128.80 was gone long time ago. It won't, even if let's say you want to go long on GU, we would never pull back. We are not supposed to come back here anymore because we have done so many, you see. We have already broken above this level again. And even if price were to pull back, I don't think it's supposed to pull back so steep. But anyway, if you were to trade pound dollar 131.80, my suggestion is still euro dollar is a lot clearer. Yeah, euro dollar seems a lot cleaner than pound dollar. So Aussie Swiss BN Aussie Swiss BNR long. Where's the BNR? Albert. Wait. Neil, may I ask you, when you did your backtest, would you feel the difference in the market condition before Biden, after Biden market? So like before and after 2021. I felt like it today. Market will always change. Yeah, no matter what, market will always change almost every single year. But price pattern, they won't change. Yeah. To me, when the market changes, the only thing, not the only thing, but the main thing that's being affected will mainly be the volatility. Like on the COVID year, the volatility was really high. Right now, the volatility is also high. It's just that there's a lot of uncertainty in the market. So back to Aussie Swiss again. Albert, where's the BNR? Oh, sorry. Thoughts on BNR Kiwi dollar on a daily? Let's have a look. You all are being contaminated by Sheng Rong. That is getting more and more people asking me about New Zealand dollar. So you mean along? Yeah, you mean the date? You mean 0.5780 here, Victor? Is it? Let's see. A little. Oh, you mean this one? Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Anyway, I'm also bullish on the cross dollar pairs as well. Mm. I'm also bullish, so it's a valid BNR. Because the pullback, so Damian asked, because the pullback you're waiting on Aussie yen is quite steep from low to high 92. Let me see. Hmm? You can just use a sell limit order, but the downside will always be you need to have a wider stops. Yeah, you can still use a limit order. It's okay. But stop loss wise, I would suggest you at least have it above this mini swing high here at 93.06. Damian, I hope I answer your question. Yeah. When the downside about using a limit order is always the stop loss. It's always wider. If you really feel like the stop loss is too wide, you can always wait for a specific trigger. And most of our trigger here have always been TPF. You get it, Damian? Yeah. But for me personally, I use a lot of limit order. Yeah, I would just say that. Price action S&P 500. S&P. It was the ticker name. Sorry. I don't really trade it. Is it SPX? Is it US 500? Oh. Sorry, I don't really trade all these. No, let's have a look. Short term, still bearish. Because it was quite interesting. I know the stock market have crashed quite significantly. We basically went into a bear market, if I wasn't wrong. Yeah, we crossed that 20. So anything that's down 20%, we call it a bear market from the high. Drop 20% from the high is a bear market. We barely tapped into the bear market benchmark. We were down for about 21.5, 22%. And because of Trump, because of our beautiful Trump, it just gapped down, and a few days later we gap up again. It was one of the craziest market you ever see. Yeah. So is it bearish or bullish? I will still say it's bearish. I don't think this one bounce will completely shift the market all the way back up. And I believe we are about to see a much larger crash. Um, a much larger crash this time. Why? Based on the price action, I will still say as long as I know a lot of people will start saying we are definitely back to a bull market, buy cheap, buy on a discount. But from a price action standpoint, anything below this 5,500, it is considered still on a seller's market. Who's the one asking me again? Alex, right? So we are still considered on a seller's market. Therefore, until I see a close above 5,500, I will still say I'm bearish. But obviously, long term, it will always go up. But my view is still, I believe we are about to see a much larger crash on the 500 because the sell-off was too significant. When you have such a strong bearish momentum, it's telling you something. It's telling you that sellers are in full control. This one bounce here does not matter. And if you look at the lower time frame, it seems like we're exhausted as well. We can't really break it. We're still holding below. So yeah, I'm expecting more sales for Alex. Yeah. So Kiwi dollar price action is very similar to Aussie dollar. Yeah, yeah, almost identical. Both went absolutely parabolic. And yeah, you have to wait and observe. BNR and TPF, which one have better win rate? I norm This is a tricky question because nowadays I combine BNR and TPF. If let's say I look for a main BNR setup, often TPF will be my entry trigger. When I trade TPF, sometimes it'll combine with BNR as well. So what I can say, both the win rates are quite similar. It's usually between 50 to 55%, but it depends on how do you execute them. Yeah, if you have more patience to enter around the key level, then obviously your win rate will be higher and your risk reward will be higher. My ETF dropped so hard, Sebastian. Okay, Nabil, is this a valid TPF sell on US 100? Let me see. Yep, valid. But why do you have your entry? Okay, one thing I just have to share here. I don't like it when I see some of you do this because I used to do that as well. Okay, let's have a look at the just some suggestion here. Eh, let me see again. You're trading on the 5 minute. You're trading on a 5 minute, right? Nabil? If 5 minute, yes, is a valid one. But all of you go to the chart that Nabil just sent in. When you're trading a TPF, don't have your entry above the shoulder zone. Because when you do that, you're anticipating price to pierce higher, tapping your better entry limit. Right, Nabil? It is not suggested. It is always suggested to have a mechanical entry system. TPF, we enter at the shoulder zone. Stop loss above the high. Yeah. So anyway, I think you know what I'm trying to say. So yes, it's a valid TPF. Any other question? So this week I also received a lot of journal. A lot of you send your journal to me, and a lot of you update me on your performance. For the entire April, there's two types of traders among so many of you. It's either you have almost no positions or you are in a minor drawdown because you force trade. So just be more cautious. My suggestion is still, if the market is not moving much, just don't keep getting in and out, in and out. You can still take trades, but it is not advised to go in and out, because you're likely to make more mistakes. Sometimes you might think, since the market is ranging, we are on a tight range, can I just do some intraday scalps? But the reality is, the higher trade frequency is during this kind of slow period, the more likely you'll have human error. You'll make silly mistakes. Chris said, when will you be doing giveaway? I will. I'm arranging and structuring things, so don't worry. There will definitely be another giveaway. But I don't want to give you all the exact time when I'll be doing it. But yeah, I have to do it in the most meaningful way. Can I? Okay, let me just share um just share this. Uh Previously we have done two giveaways, right? In February, was it? In February. And unfortunately, they didn't go that well. So one of our traders are still doing the challenge. It's been some time, but another of our trader actually lost the challenge because I wouldn't say he was taking bad trades, but he was risking a little bit more compared to his usual risk. And he took 4 or 5 losses in a row, and the account was gone. So that sort of hurt me a little. Just be honest, that sort of hurt me a little bit. That's why I've postponed the giveaway for a while. Just want to make sure I'm doing it in the most meaningful way. Yeah, I have to ensure that I give it to the right person as well. So we don't waste money, right? I would rather just be more straightforward. I'm someone who I would rather donate my money instead of giving to someone else who I believe they don't have the capability to pass it. It's almost like burning money, you know. Although, $500, $1,000, they're not a lot, but to some other unfortunate people, it's a lot. Based on your statistics, how many times the slow market happened like last week? It really depends, but every single year you can always expect 1 or 2 months where market is just slow, almost every single year. Market slow doesn't mean it's slow. Sometimes it's just that it doesn't fit your system. Nothing much actually fit your system. How long will the market be slow? No one can predict. If I can predict how slow, how long would it be, then I'm not a trader anymore. I'm more of a like weather forecast, like those reporter. So I can't really predict it. We just see, we just let it be. Um, any interviews with trader plan to come out? I will be doing more interviews, but there are two particular trader that I wanted to interview. The first one that I wanted to interview, he had some issue with he has some family matter he has to deal with. Just 1 or 2 days before our interview, something happened to him. So he actually need to pause and he need to go settle something. So I had to delay it. And I have another interview arranging right now. So 0.5% to passing phase 100K ACG, but bank holiday slow it down so badly. Just take it slow. If you're 0.5% to passing, you are already there, Kelvin. So no rush. Uh, just no rush. One of our trader also had similar issue. He was very close to passing his phase one, And then he overtraded. It always starts with overtrading, making one silly mistakes, another one, and he went from positive 6 or 7% all the way down to negative. But I'm very glad that this trader picked up, he regained his confidence and he's building the consistency back. Right now, he's back up positive 6%. So if you clearly know that you are profitable, you are consistent, try not to force trade just because you're nearly passing the challenge. Because prop firms, they're not stupid. They design the program in a way that it triggers human emotion, right? So don't be trapped by some of these benchmark or 10% target. Whether if it's 10% target, 20% target, you trade as usual. You trade as usual until you hit your target. Even until then you hit your target, you still need to trade as usual on your funded accounts. So don't because I'm almost passing it, I need 1 more percent. Let me cheat the way through. I know many of you have done it. I've done it before. Or I'm almost passing. Let me risk a bit more on this trade. And then just happen that you lose that trade and you reverse back, right? I've improved a lot, Kelvin said. I feel because I would have done stupid things in the past. Good to be in the community. Very well done, Kelvin. So anyone used half a year or more just to pass phase one and phase two prop firm? Rarely. Very rarely. Very, very rarely. I think it only happened once or twice. Yeah. Most of the time, whether if you pass it or fail it, it'll happen within 3 months. 3 months period should be enough. I'm running two months still in phase one. Yeah. Yeah, you. Yep. So no question. So same Ashley at phase two. Nash passed 200K in 7 days with only gold. Good one, Nash. Well done to you. I think people rush because they are making actual money. I want to get to the testing of. No, you see, it is okay to rush your challenge, but you still need to know if you, when we call it for Albert, if you cheat the way through, you are just building bad habits. If you get what I'm trying to say. And that's why I always tell people, if you really feel like you're consistent, I don't mind you risk a little bit more on your challenge phase because I know everyone wants to get to the fund so they can start making money. But the key thing is, as a trader, having good habits are far more important than rushing it. Because sometimes when you cheat one time, you realize you tend to cheat the next time, the next time, and the next time. And sooner or later, you realize you have so much bad habits stacked up. Yeah. So Jing say, I took 5 months. Jing, you're at phase two, right? Is it? Or did you pass it? Are you at phase two or did you pass the evaluation? Phase two, yeah, phase two. So many of you are in phase two. I think at least 20 or 30 of you are in phase two. Just take it slow, please. Just take it slow. So I'm just thinking, since no time limit, we can just take it slow. Yeah, correct. Taking it slow. But taking it slow doesn't mean you just relax all the way through. You still have to trade. So Kelvin say, actually, to pass challenge in a shorter time frame to your previous experience is important too. Correct. Because I've done a lesson on this before. When traders spend too much time on a challenge, it will somehow affect their confidence. I have one mentee who previously also spent a couple of, I think 2 or 3 months doing it a little bit too slow. Then on one call I told him you have to risk a little bit more. Then everything picked up. He just passed phase one. So same thing goes to all of you. If you feel like you are consistent but things are a little bit too slow, it could be you having problem with your risk allocation. So I'll give you an example. You make money on your winning trade, but it's not enough to pass it. So what you do is after a series of wins, maybe you're up 6%, 7%, you will definitely have drawdown, right? and then drawdown hits, and then you go back again. So when I'm doing prop firm challenge, I like to ensure when I have a good win, I hold on to it and I scale into my winner to make sure if I really catch some decent trade, I pass it within 1 to 2 trades on my phase one, especially when it requires 10% or 8% nowadays. So try not to drag it too long because it affects your confidence. Another reason could be, like I say, risk allocation. Don't have the habit of, oh, you make money, then you risk static 1%. When you lose 2, 3 trades, all of a sudden you're risking 0.5%. Why do you want to risk 0.5%? You have to question it. Now, when you scale down your risk by half, it will take double the effort to pass it. So just trade as usual. Whether you're in a drawdown, you're up on the account, you trade as usual. One. 你还有 do learn a trade management from other mentor, or do you figure out yourself? Myself. Everything myself. That's why all of you can imagine uh how much hair I've dropped. No, just kidding. So I'm someone who really spent a lot of time thinking about how to structure a thing. Every single element in my trading system has to be questioned at least 2, 3 times. That's one of my habit. I don't know what you mean. 3D. 3D, what's your Telegram name? 3D? At RAWS. Phase one, phase two basically means prop firm evaluation. Do you not know what's a prop firm? AWS? If you don't know, text me later. Text me after the meeting. I'll tell you. Because we have a lot of traders, they trade fully on their own capital, their live capital. So we really have a lot. They don't know what's a phase one, phase two. The reason why I joined you is not just about how much you make from trading, it's your content that other mentor don't teach. I don't call myself a mentor, but I appreciate you calling me a mentor. Hey Neil, would you say that it was easier to trade 3, 4 years ago than it is now? No, it's the same thing. It's the same thing, really. Do you only take A plus setups or B on the funnel account? I don't trade funnel accounts anymore. It's been 1 year plus since I trade any funnel account. I'm fully on personal. But when I'm trading funnel accounts, I trade both A plus and B. But I have a grading system that says A plus I can risk 1.2%. B I normally risk normally around 1%. Yeah. So A plus I risk a little bit more. A plus are mainly those that sits at a very good price position, good level, everything's clean, market structure is clean, direction is clear, not the choppy market. Okay, so any questions you can proceed on asking our Q&A on the communication group or the focus group on our chat group. So that's it for our meeting today. Really enjoyed the session with y'all, and I hope you